do this. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Mars with the Digital Quill Podcast. As you know, welcome on into another episode. Today, I have with me a special guest. Want to apologize that this is a slightly different format, but at the same time, that's kind of what the Quill is about, challenging ourselves and also just having normal conversations with people. Could you go ahead and introduce yourself to my audience, please?
Hi everybody. I'm April Brucker. I am from Pittsburgh. That's why I talk the way I do. I like long walks on the beach and I like bubble baths and good books. But for those of you that don't know me, when I was a teenager, I told my father to talk to the hand quite a bit. And my dad said, April, you're never going to be able to make a career out of that. Well, you see, I kind of did because I got my first puppet, Groucho Marx, when I was 13. I wanted to be a professional ventriloquist. Um, my ex-fiance made me choose between him and the puppets. I chose the puppets, and actually, no, I chose him at first, but then I dumped him and I chose the puppets. And since then, I've been talking to the hand. Hello. Oh, who are you? I'm Mr. Hand. And so, Mr. Hand, what are you trying to say? April is the Coca girl from My Strange Addiction. Okay, Mr. Hand. Yeah, you may have seen me on My Strange Addiction. It's on Paramount. It's on Hulu. And so anyway, but yeah, my fiance said choose me or the puppets, and I chose the puppets. Like I said, chose him at first. It was a big mistake. Then I chose the puppets. Then I said sayonara, and My Strange Addiction is streaming everywhere. I get fan mail from all over the world, and I'm a professional ventriloquist, comedian, actress, writer, recording artist, etc., etc. But like I said, it all starts with a bubble bath, a long walk on the beach, and a good book. So,
I think you are an amazing person. I actually had a viewer of the show recommend you to me, and I kind of did a little bit of a deep dive, but not like a deep dive. I call it a shallow deep dive where I don't go down a rabbit hole, but I go down like an opossum hole or like, a squirrel hole. Just go in and then come out, go collect my nuts and then come back. You know how it is.
yeah, yeah.
ADHD. It's great.
But
But
I recommend a squirrel hole. They're always safer than a rabbit hole. They're pretty deep, and coyotes are on the other side. So,
you know what? I never thought of it like that. That's a great point.
yeah, I live in Nevada. We have a lot of coyotes. Fabulous Las Vegas is actually where I'm coming from. And
Hmm.
what I've been doing in fabulous Las Vegas is it's been a busy season for me because this Christmas I had a Christmas song out with Mae Wilson, and then I have another song out with, and it's called Merry Christmas. I'm so glad I didn't marry you. I'm sorry, I'm a little Christmased out. I've done a lot of interviews this Christmas, and then in the new year I have another song out. Do you know the song Fallout at all?
I think so.
Yeah, the TV series Fallout. Well, if you know Fallout on Amazon Prime, do you know a group called the Ink Spots?
Oh, that kind of rings a bell. Okay.
Do you want to set the world on fire?
Sometimes.
Okay,
Not
well,
really.
okay, good, because the Ink Spots don't want to set the world on fire, and they're all over Amazon. They're all over Amazon Prime. They're all over Fallout, and the Ink Spots are still performing.
Hmm.
Mae Wilson and I did a track with the world famous Ink Spots called "That's the Way It Is."
Hmm. Okay. Is that the song that you sent me by chance?
Yes.
Now, I have a question for you. I can either show the music video or show the song. Which would you prefer?
Could we show the music video because it will make more sense?
Yes, we can do that. I was really hoping we were going to go with that option. I wanted to give you the opportunity to choose. Can you see my screen on your end?
Yes, yes.
All right, then here is the video. And I will full screen this. I'm hoping that it will come through.
So far, so good.
All right. Let's see. Go back to this. I'm not great with technology. It's a learn as I go process. Just full disclosure. I love that music video. That was the first full time I saw it through, just as an
Thank you.
FYI.
Thank you. And actually, if you want, I have the star of the music video with me.
Oh, really?
Would you like to meet her?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, I do.
Mars Wilson. Please meet May Wilson. OMG, you're Mars Wilson. I'm
I
May Wilson.
am.
This is out of this world. Ow, ow.
It's nice to meet you. Oh my gosh.
Nice to meet you too. So you're in Arizona. I'm in Las Vegas. You should get in your car and that way we can party. Ow, ow.
I would love to. We'll have to plan something. My family and I sometimes visit Las Vegas, so next time I'm out there, I'll hit you up.
So I got to work with the world famous ink squats because I am a fabulous dosa. Yeah, that is the truth. And so the way May got to work with the ink spots is the ink spots and I were both managed by Clinton Ford Phillips Jr.
Hmm.
And so I've gotten to know the guys. And they said, "How would you like to do a collaboration, April?" And my voice is like, I delivered singing telegrams in New York City. I did the musicals in high school. And so I said, guys, I can sing, but I'm not, a super singer. And they said, "No, we don't want you. We want May." Of course they did, because my talent is on a global, international level. They wanted the real star of the act. That is true. And so, anyway, so May did a recording of them, and the original song, That's the Way It Is, was recorded in 1945 by Ella Fitzgerald and the Bill Kenny Ink Spots. And basically, what we did was, she's a puppet showgirl. He is a human singer. Thank you, April. You should have been on that sooner. You're welcome, May. And it just, that's the way it is. And plus, I'm a sugar baby. You always got to go on to your next trick. Hey.
That's a little bit too much information for my brain.
So, but May, how was it working with the ink spots? Well, it was superb because first off, they worked with a celebrity such as moi. Okay, whatever, May. And second, they are legends. So I said to them, I will treat you like myself. Like you want a showbiz legend? Yeah, they are a legendary showbiz group. But what did you think? Well, April, they were more legendary than moi. So I said, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. That's what I did.
I feel like I recognize that tune in my own voice sometimes, and I have to say I love the way that you present yourself because I might need a little bit of that rubbed off on me by the end of the show.
And I feel like I need a little bit of that rubbed off on me every day. But she's got enough self-esteem for five people. So May, um, but what was it like working with the ink spots? Those guys were A-class professional, just like moi. Okay, okay, okay. So you compliment them and you compliment yourself. I compliment everybody. Mars, that is a great color on you. I love blue.
Thank you.
But May, but that's not the first song you've done. No, I did a song this Christmas called Merry Christmas. I'm so glad I didn't marry you. And it was an homage to all the dating duds of years past. Wait, May, I was on that song. You just figured that out, you dummy. This is what I live with all the time.
Why
But
is she
anyway,
so mean to you?
yeah, May, why are you so mean to me? Well, because I'm a star and everybody needs that unfortunate friend. I'm
Wow,
the
are you gonna take that?
Yeah, am I going to take that? That's the question. May, I could always mute you. You wouldn't dare. Oh, I would. Girl. Like I said, you're the dummy. No, you're the dummy. The correct term is textile American. Okay, we're muting her for a while. But yeah, Costas Dino approached us about doing a Christmas song. See, she just keeps going. And he approached us.
Divas, gotta
I
love
know
them.
he approached us about doing a Christmas song. And anyway, he approached us about doing a Christmas song. And I thought he was crazy, and he said, "Why don't you do a Christmas song with May?" And I thought he was crazy. And can I talk? Only if you're nice. And I said, "Hey, girl, don't be a dummy." Okay, I'm gonna mute you again if you use the D word towards me. I said, "Don't be a dummy. I'm the one with the voice." So we did a Christmas song. It's gone around the world, just as the Ink Spot song has. We've gotten a lot of radio airplay with both. You did a radio interview in Mexico. Yes, I did. And, me and La Chica Loca. Okay, May, I'll let that slide. But May and I did an interview on Mexican radio, and May's Spanish was actually better than mine.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
will
so, but
say before you continue, I'm happy to have both of you on. I think you're equally talented. I don't want to hear it, May. Thank you for your opinions. They're great.
yeah, May, thank you for your opinions, but nobody wants to hear that negative stuff. But the song got a lot of airplay worldwide. And May, what did you think? Well, move over, Mariah Carey, or shall I say Mariah Scary, in the Queen of Christmas now. Thrown down with Mariah Carey. Mariah Scary, if you're listening. You cannot hold a talent to moi. You cannot hold anything to moi. My talent is universal and irreplaceable. What? May, Mariah Carey is watching. No, she's not. Yes, she is. Is Mariah Carey watching?
Yes, yes, absolutely. She loves this show.
She watches every week. On second thought, Mariah Carey, I was just kidding. I totally love you. Let's collaborate sometime. Did I tell you that I loved you and that I was your biggest fan? And these were just jokes. And April puts words in my mouth, but I totally love you. Puppets,
Yeah,
you can't live with them. You can't live without them.
as I
But
said, you gotta love divas. They really know what they're worth. I love it so much.
yeah, and but Costas Dino He recognized my talent. Oh, God. It was his idea to do the Christmas song, but May, like you said, you really enjoyed working with the ink spots. Yes, because like I said, they're just as legendary and as talented as moi. Okay. But I'll have to say that I liked working with the ink spots because Eddie Coco Stanzel is the leader of the group. He's done a nice job keeping the legacy going. Purnell Berry was great. Alan Howard, three really great guys out of Las Vegas. And I am a member of the Great American Songbook. You are looking at Americana music royalty. Hey, girl, cut the crown on my head. Oh, God. You want a crown? This is what I deal with. I require a crown to do the rest of this interview. You know, May, your sugar daddy is over there. Oh, yeah. He's 89 years old. Isn't that a little young for me?
What's your age type?
Well, my last sugar daddy died unexpectedly at the age of 97.
Unexpectedly?
Yes.
I'm
And
gonna let that slide.
what was his pickup line? You remind me of your granddaughter. You remind me of my granddaughter.
That's a line for sure.
But May, you kind of butchered that. No, 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 April, you butchered that. That's fair. I butchered that. Um, but yeah. So, and then what else did he? So, what did you say? I said, that's great. Do you need an executor for your estate?
And what did he say?
He said, always.
Gotta love that life.
But
Sugar.
unfortunately, he left me out of his will. So, I'm looking again. May, why not just get a job? You said the J word.
The J word is kind of a scary word, isn't it? I
Well, you're saying,
sympathize.
Mars works, I work, but I'm too pretty for work.
We all have to work. It's work.
WRQ, because I am fabulous.
Okay, but doesn't fabulous take a little bit of work? I mean, you have to get your hair just right, or do you wake up with it perfect?
Well, it requires $10,000 a month to be law. $10,000 a month. What can I say? My life is very expensive. I do not work cheap. Okay, April. Okay. So, but to be fair, you are famous. You've been seen on a lot of television shows and you went viral. Yes. A few years ago, April and I went viral around the world. The UK Daily Mail did a story on us where we went viral from England to Iceland to Italy, then from Russia to China to India, then from Ghana to Nigeria to Kenya, then to Nigeria to Liberia to Kenya, then from Colombia to Brazil to Guatemala. That's right. I am a celebrity in Guatemala.
It is quite the repertoire of places to go and places to be. I love that.
Yes, and the headline read as follows: Ventriloquist who splashes out 20 grand a year on her puppets. They even have their own bedroom. Dumps her fiance after he says it's them or me. And let me tell you about this loser, okay? April met him and he proposed on the third date. Red flag. Actually, that's true. He did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that, because that sounds like a teaching moment.
It was a teaching moment. The first date, he wanted to be my boyfriend. Red flag. The second date, he told me that he wanted to have kids with me someday. Bigger red flag.
That's something that you take, those are two things you take the time to kind of figure out, I think.
Yeah, I know that now. I didn't know that then. I just thought, it was too good to be true. And I wanted to be a professional ventriloquist, but I didn't want to be alone forever. So on the third date, when he got down on one knee and proposed, and I said yes, and I said no, no, no. You listen to me? No.
At least she listened to you at some point, right?
But it took almost, you see, I put my puppets away.
Hmm.
That was hard. And so for a year, I was with him in a relationship that kept steadily getting worse, and that was a surprise to me, but nobody else around me, that he was controlling and he was a narcissist, and so I looked at May under the bed where you were collecting dust. Yes, I was. And can you tell us more about that, May? I was collecting bugs, and not the fun kind like Sydney Sweeney has, okay? And so what happened next? He said to me, May, I miss you. And I said, I know. I said, I miss you, May. That's what I just said. No, that's what I just said. See, she can't even tell a story right. So, anyway, long story short, I said, I miss you. I don't know what to do. And I said, I know what to do. You got to tell your fiance that you've chosen. So I walked in the kitchen with May on my arm and I said, Sayonara, sucker.
I love that. I love that you ended up choosing yourself at some point and choosing May and not choosing him. I Being human can be so messy. I feel like none of us get by this life without making a mistake at least once or a couple dozen hundred times. But
Yeah.
at some point, as my mother would have put it, we wake up and come to the party. And that's,
Yeah. And I was coming to the party because the other thing was he couldn't keep a job. I was supporting the both of us.
hmm,
He was cheating with an ex-girlfriend and lying about it. I mean, the list just went
oh,
on. And this
gross.
mess just wouldn't clean itself up. And I said, he's a loser. Okay, May, tell us how you really feel. Loser, 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 loser. And so he said, you're never going to become a professional ventriloquist. And I said, here I am. And so you know what he did over the summer? He hit us up and he wants to get back together. And I said, hell no. Yeah, almost 20 years later. And this
Wow.
time I learned to see the red flags. And I said, and it took out your mother. At a certain point, we all come to the party. And speaking of party, there's a party around the corner that I got to go to. But I'll be right back. Nate Wilson.
I love that we share a last name.
I know, I know, I know, I know. I know.
I hope she has fun at her party. How are you doing?
I'm
With
doing
especially
well.
after all of that.
I'm doing well. And but it's funny though, as women, I think, is that a lot of times we slide into toxic relationships because a lot of times we're told if somebody likes you, you have to like them back, and you're a bad person if you don't like them back. And so you feel like, and it's an old showbiz adage, you got to go where the work is.
Yeah, that is the other showbiz adage, the one where sex sells or sex buys you love sometimes too. I have had my fair share of stories. I've been cheated on. I have unfortunately done the cheating back on a cheating partner when I should have probably just left the
And they did
relationship
it. Yep.
altogether.
Hmm.
But it it happens. Life is, as I said, really, really messy. We learn from our mistakes, hopefully.
Well, one of the best pieces of advice I got, and this was from somebody that I adore. And I had just ended things with my fiance, and I was trying to be a professional ventriloquist, and I thought I was going to get married, and I was suddenly alone. And it's weird because you have this mindset, I'm going to be married. And when you think of married, you think of forever. Okay. I mean, at least you should, unless you're in Hollywood, then it's like a few months and then you're divorced. But anyway,
I've seen the
and so,
headlines.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, but the point is that you think, oh, this is going to be forever. Well, suddenly I wasn't getting married, and I was out there in the world and I was dating again, and it was like, I exchanged one jerk off for a bunch of other jerk offs. It's like, you go to the jerk store and you keep trading them. And this person that I adore says to me, April, dating is free therapy because you learn lessons about yourself, and sometimes these are lessons that you don't want to learn.
Mhm.
And it is so true. and it puts Miracle Grow on all your issues, etc. But I'm glad I left that relationship. I'm glad I had that relationship, and I'm glad that it didn't work out because had I stayed with him, my life would have been terrible. Okay. My life would have been awful with him. And I know that. Had I stayed with any of the other guys that I met afterwards, my life would have been awful. Had some of them been nice, and I'm going to say something very controversial, had some of them been nice and we would have lived happily ever after, I wouldn't be doing any of the things I'm doing now. I would have probably had a few of his kids. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I did that performing stuff, but this is what I'm doing now. I wouldn't be doing any of the things I'm doing now.
I resonate with that a lot. And thank you for sharing that story of yourself and your life with me because it puts perspective into my own choices from the past and current choices and future choices. Thank you, April.
Of course, and they're just choices. They're choices. That's all they are.
What are you most proud of and what do you regret the most in your life?
Okay, what I regret the most is staying in that relationship for too long and
Hmm.
staying with sometimes people that don't work for too long and not sticking up for myself financially at certain points, like not having certain tools, but I don't regret it because sometimes you got to go through it to get through it to get the wisdom that you have today and to get the guts that you have. But what I'm most proud of is that I've always stuck to my guns. And I've gotten a lot of crap for sticking to my guns, honestly. But I've always stuck to my guns and I've always turned lemon into lemonade. Like, for instance, during COVID, I moved out to Las Vegas to do a resident show. And I did two preview weekends. It was called April Unwrapped in February 2020.
Hmm.
And I was supposed to open in March of 2020. And we all know what happened.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was suddenly doing these virtual shows. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And for years, my manager, Clinton Billups, said, April, you need to write a book on ventriloquism. And I was like, I don't have time. And anyway, long story short, during COVID, I wrote Don't Read My Lips.
Hmm. Okay. I'm going to have to get a copy of your book.
Thank you. It's available on Amazon and anywhere that they sell books. And so I wrote my book, and it's the lessons that I've learned as a ventriloquist, as a performer, as a woman in the business. Wait, you talk? Of course I talk. I'm a good on ventriloquism. Wait, where's your accent from? Absolutely nowhere. Oh my God.
A talking
Um,
book.
so you're a talking book? Yes.
I love that. I love talking books. They say so much and so little at the same time.
I have a whole collection of them. But it's just, but it's just like, and as I've gotten older, the other thing too, another thing that I'm proud of is that I've always been able to shut out the noise. And what I mean is that a lot of people tried to curtail my creativity when I was younger, whether it was family members, teachers, so-called friends, boyfriends, whatever. And I didn't listen. And thank God, because I wouldn't be doing any of the things I'm doing now. So,
So, before we actually get into another question or topic or subject, one, I want to thank you for being on the show. And I hope if I email you again soon, which I will be, you are welcome to be on again when I have more of an opportunity for less than or more than 40 minutes because we have only 10 minutes left, according to
okay.
Zoom.
All right.
Um, my last question for you is if all 8 billion people could listen to this show right now, what's one thing that you'd want to teach them or let them know? Like if you could be the leader right now of 8 billion people,
Oh, geez. 8 billion people.
teach
Dang.
them something. Say
Okay. Oh,
something, even if it's just
um,
hi.
ni hao, hi, hola, Origato. Okay, I hope I covered some of the languages. But I want to tell you three things. One, anybody can be a ventriloquist, and I talk about it in my book, Don't Read My Lips.
Okay.
The second thing is that you should follow your dreams no matter what they are. And you can follow your dreams no matter what they are. And the third is if somebody is keeping you from following your dreams or they're a downer, cut them out. You don't need that negativity in your life. And I know that, we have all this pressure to keep relationships going and, to keep people in our lives that just choke the life out of us. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with choosing you. And you're always going to get crap for choosing you, especially if you're a woman, because we're not raised to choose us. Well, guess what? We're choosing us. And because we didn't choose ourselves, the world is in the state that it is right now. And Mr. Tramp, what did you want to say? I just want to say that this podcast is huge. Donald J. Trump, everybody, not to get political. But my point is that, yeah. And that's the way it is. It's available anywhere that you can get music, as is Merry Christmas. Plug.
I will definitely be including all the links from what I can acquire into the description for this episode so people will be able to find you. And it'll be easy when, if and when you share the episode, people on your end can use the links to get all your stuff too. I like trying to make this show as accessible as possible because that's like the one thing I hate about the internet. There's so many different moving parts. Nothing is like super easy to just be like click on one thing and it's all right there. That's what I want the quill to be about is accessibility and people being people again instead of cogs in a machine, if that
Of
makes
course.
sense.
And of course, and if I could include another thing, it was an honor and a privilege to work with the world famous Ink Spots and to work with technically the first crossover group in American music. Just so you know, those of you that don't know, them and the Mills Brothers, they were the first Black groups to be embraced by a white audience. And this was the first time you saw Black music being embraced by a white audience because a lot of the GIs listened to them. They were innovators in R&B, they were innovators in hip hop, jazz. The My Darling that Barry White does. That's the Ink Spots influenced that.
Yeah.
And so it was just, and so if you don't know that about music, look it up.
As a music lover, I'm definitely going to have to look into that a little bit more because that's incredible. Music is such a good thing for the soul. It's always been a part of me in one way or another. I'm actually trying to learn the drums this year. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Um, do you have any questions for me? Any comments or concerns? I want to say thank you. It's been an honor and a privilege to have you on the quill with me. This is my first major project on my own, and I am trying to take it places. So thank you for joining
And
me on
thank
this
you for
journey.
having me. Thank you so much for having me.
Um, Comments, questions, or concerns? Do you have any of those?
Nope. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording now so that we're still within the time and I can give you some side notes at the end. But um, I'm gonna do the sign off thing that I usually do. Thank you, thank you everyone, Humans of Earth, for joining us on this episode. That's been amazing, entertaining, and everything that the quill is about. As always, Humans of Earth, please keep going, never stop. Thank you, and thank April for being on the show with us. Bye, everybody.